Right now you're taking a look at our radar image. You can see out towards Dearborn County, got a good amount of downpours near 275. And we got a little bit of action up in Butler County, but most of us kind of looking like the image in the bottom right corner of your screen. TQL Stadium staying nice and dry, just a little bit on the toasty side this Sunday evening, but of course we do want to get you through these batches of showers and storms, which very few to come by, but of course we have this main one that is just north of Lawrenceburg near Guilford and heading towards 74. We haven't seen much lightning with this, if any, and that's the good news. We don't expect this, or any storms rather, to pack too much of a punch, but you can see they're very slow moving. This guy's only really moved a good maybe 10 to 20 miles over the last hour and some change. And you can see up towards Butler County, not too far away. Got a little bit of speckles out there on satellite and radar that appear to be strengthening, but once again, still just showers along 127 near Hamilton, near 75 in Middletown, as well as down towards Liberty Township. And then taking you here to Cincinnati, we did see a little bit of rain earlier within the last hour here downtown. I know here in Queensgate we got a little bit of that rain as well, but that has since weakened to the point we're just seeing clouds here in downtown Cincinnati. Most of us have remained entirely dry. Good Sunday evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley, and while most of us are escaping the chance for rain right now, we are looking forward to a little bit of a different story within the next few afternoons, mainly watching for Wednesday for something strong, maybe even severe. Generally speaking, you could expect some showers and storms that day, if not in the morning, then in the evening. So we'll unpack the timing of that here in the next few minutes. Let's talk about the now, though, which the now is warm and humid. Shocker, right? We've only been talking about this for the last week and some change, and how it really is just kind of hard to break this sultry pattern. We got a good amount of clouds out there on our Fairmount cam. Looking south towards downtown, it's 89, but feels like 93 at CVG with a nice breeze from the southwest, about 5 miles per hour. Something that we're going to be watching overnight is visibility. Going to be taking a little bit of a hit. Anna picked up on this earlier today, and of course it's very normal to see some fog in the mornings with a pattern like this, just because it's humid, you have the cooling temperatures, and not a lot of wind to stir around that moisture. So especially if you live out near the rural areas out towards Batesville, Indiana, or even out towards Highland County, you just want to keep this one in mind for that Monday morning commute. The rest of us are going to be waking up tomorrow morning with temperatures into the low 70s, another mild and muggy start, regardless of any of the showers, regardless of any of the fog, I should say, that we could be waking up to tomorrow. Sunrise at 6:48. We're going to be getting a good amount of sun tomorrow. If you liked yesterday, you like today's forecast, you're going to love tomorrow's forecast, because it really is just more of the same. More on that here in just a second. Yeah, just a couple showers right now. Nothing too impactful. If you're tuning in from Warren, Claremont, Clinton, Brown, down into northern Kentucky and parts of Campbell, Pendleton, Brecken, and even down towards Mason County, you haven't gotten any rain this weekend, and you're still looking mostly sunny. And that's because we are still looking at pretty decent high pressure, and high pressure really fends off a lot of that opportunity for rain. It clears up the skies a little bit as well, but it also pumps in that warmth, that humidity. The orange arrows you see there, it's my way of showing you guys we're still noticing that southerly breeze, which means we are still being fed that heat and that humidity from the south. Good news about high pressure, or maybe the not so good news now that many of us have been dry for a while, is that it will continue to fight off any substantial rain over the next 24 to 36 hours. You kind of see some splotches of rain near St. Louis right now. It's heading south of us anyways, but it's going to weaken as it does so because of that high pressure. However, our attention is going to be with this, a cold front that is states away at this point, but of course it's going to get closer, and it's going to kind of battle that center of high pressure, if you will, to the point where this cold front, its associated center of low pressure, is going to be steered north of the area. And so it's very possible that we just get clipped by the bottom section of this. And what I'm seeing with that is your Wednesday, we're going to be noticing the storms from the cold front, but we're not going to notice any cooler temperatures behind it. Once again, just getting clipped by the storms and returning to that hot and humid pattern as we step into next weekend, which more of the same, and more on that here in just a few minutes in your first alert extended forecast. Right now it's about the now, which tomorrow, once again, if you like today, you will love tomorrow with temperatures around 90 and the heat index, which is what you see here, anywhere between 90 and 95 degrees. Tuesday, let me back Tuesday up a little bit, because Tuesday, as we see that moisture getting closer, the chance of storms getting closer, we're going to notice that heavier air setting in, and you'll notice just a little bit of extra heat, or at least a little bit of a higher heat index Tuesday afternoon. But once again, hardly noticeable stepping out the door. All you need to know is that it's going to be hot and humid before we really see any of these showers and storms arriving. For some, Tuesday evening. For others, Wednesday. You'll see here in your rain on the roof forecast. Not much change then from what I was showing you guys this time yesterday. Isolated chances today, tomorrow, spotty chances late Tuesday afternoon, and then Wednesday is when we're watching for scattered action, widespread scattered action. So you can rely on a little bit of rain there on Wednesday. We'll unpack some rainfall totals here in just a second as well. Now Thursday, that's when that cold front is going to start leaving the region. We'll see some storms as it does exit, but once again, it's not going to leave behind any lasting relief from the heat and the humidity. And you can see it in the storm chances as well, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All isolated afternoon chances for storms, and that's because it's going to be hot and it's going to be humid this time next weekend as well. So we do expect the chance for showers and storms today to decrease, go down, if you will, by about 8 o'clock as we see the sun getting lower on the horizon. And then, of course, they will fizzle out entirely. A bit of fog tomorrow morning, can't rule that out. And then we'll work into the early afternoon. Mostly sunny, turns to partly cloudy. And some of those clouds will produce a shower, maybe a storm. No widespread concerns here, but for the afternoon commute, keep this one in mind. We know it from last week, how just a little bit of rain can kind of go a long way for all of us hitting the roads during a busy travel time of day. Now Tuesday, afternoon scattered chances west of Cincinnati and south of Cincinnati. And yeah, we could see some storms ahead of that as well. And then we roll into Wednesday, more showers and storms on tap for not just the morning, but also in the afternoon and the evening. There's going to be dry time in Wednesday's forecast, more than likely, and so that's going to allow temperatures to warm up back into the upper 80s, depending on the storms, of course, and depending on where you are. But generally speaking, we're going to catch enough dry time on Wednesday to warm back up near the middle to upper 80s, and we can't rule out something stronger for Wednesday evening's batch of showers and storms. So heat is most certainly still in that forecast for Wednesday outside of the storms, but once again, keep in mind that will serve as storm fuel. Now, for any storms for this time of year, typically what we see with this setup and the main threats would be heavy rain, leading to localized flooding, frequent lightning as well, and then also some strong wind gusts. Those three seem to be the primary concerns with any summer setup, and this one is no different. Of course, all modes of severe weather are on the table, but those three are usually the primary concerns. And then Thursday rolls on in, low 90s for the heat index, so very, not even noticeable relief with any storms, because it's not before long that we return back with those middle 90s heat indices for this time next weekend. And it comes with a little bit of storms in that forecast as well, but nothing to compare to what we're tracking for Wednesday. So your first alert extended forecast tomorrow is very similar to today, just a stray afternoon chance there of a shower or storm. Most of us are just going to remain entirely sunny though, and then Tuesday's starting to notice thicker clouds coming on in south and west of Cincinnati, and more of us, though certainly late in the day on Tuesday, will start to hear the raindrops. After a high of 90 degrees, perhaps the rain is welcomed. Now Wednesday, seeing even more storms. If you had to compare it, provide numbers to these predictions, I'm putting Tuesday at about a 40% chance and Wednesday at about a 60% chance, to give you an idea. And so more coverage with Wednesday, a little less heat, temperature high of 88 degrees with scattered storms throughout the day. And in the evening, we do just want to say weather aware. No widespread concerns here. It's just that time of year in which heavy rain, frequent lightning, and of course strong wind gusts are going to be associated with any of these stronger thunderstorms. Thursday, lingering showers and storms as that cold front exits the region. Again, we're not really going to see this pass through the area. It's just going to pass north of us. And so we'll see the storms. We just won't see the cool air with it or the dry air. So the humidity will stick around through the late week, and so will those warm temperatures. We're already back near 90 degrees by Friday afternoon, and more than likely will stay that way through all of next weekend. I know, very sultry pattern as we enter into the next week here in August. All right, I'm not seeing any questions in our Facebook comments here at 6:10 this afternoon. I don't think there's anything else that we really need to unpack other than we're going to keep you updated on how Wednesday's going to play out. Of course, that's our next best chance for showers and storms, and also that small window of opportunity for something stronger trying to develop there. However, because these are scattered chances throughout the day leading up to the evening, we could very well just see normal thunderstorms, and that's best case scenario. Hopefully provide a little bit of relief to the heat before we inevitably return to that heat. So yeah, we'll keep you updated. We'll be watching that like a hawk as per usual. But for now, signing off here in Queensgate, I'm meteorologist Erin Ashley. Have a great rest of your Sunday.